Hey guys, what's good? What's good? Am I good? Hi. Hello there. This side. There's the camera, but I'm looking here. There's the camera, but I'm looking here. So what's up, guys? How's it going? Are you staying safe? Happy Thursday, y'all. Let me take a sip because I'm not smiling. This is my happy face. This is my happy face. When I saw this shirt, I had to get it because a lot of people say, "You look so serious." Why so serious, Mark? It's because when I'm focused, like I will be this evening, agenda, 3 points. How's it going? Say hi in the chat, please, guys. I will be pulling one of you out this evening. Whoa. We have a countdown going on. I'll explain a bunch of things. I'm already squirrely. Today will be not squirrely. We will talk about, it's an affiliate strategy, but it's a strategy it's my best strategy. It's the strategy that I think allows me to, it's going to be serious here. My happy face. It's a strategy that allows me to scale, to automate and scale, to automate and scale so that I could spend my waking hours creating quality content that captures audience members and nurtures them. My sales are now automated, and when they work on automation, I then scale them. Okay? It's going to be very advanced tonight. Okay? I'm going to say that right now. I said it in the invitation webinar. Tonight, I see you guys. Say hello, please. Can you see and hear me? That would be great. Please let me know if you can see and hear me. That'd be amazing. And then we're going to jump right in. We're covering the automated webinar that I am running for selling Octo content and brand resume. Brand resume. That's what we're covering tonight. Tonight I'm pulling back the curtain so much that I'm reluctant. To share my new automated webinar because it's working. It's working, and it's working big time. And I don't know if I should turn the camera. I don't want you to contact me on Facebook, but I'm on Facebook again. Can we get an amen? Marc Lalonde is once again on Facebook. So I'm doing ads on Facebook, and what you're about to see tonight is my new automated webinar. Who's ready for that? Not to see the webinar, to see the proprietary intricacies that Marc Lalonde uses to, well, this webinar is going to make multiple 7 figures in a 6-month period. I'm not selling you anything tonight. I'm not selling you anything. Many of you are affiliates of Octo content. You have your affiliate page, and you probably use this strategy for more than your affiliate products. You will use this strategy, hopefully, to set up your own school, which we teach you how to do in social media as thenewhollywood.com. There's a free course. I haven't uploaded the modules yet to open up your own school, but they're in past replays. I must clip them. This will be perfect for those of you that are collaborators, and you can resell brand resume and Octo content, and you have webinar automation software. Webinar Jam specifically. Let's start there. It's going to be very advanced. Well, let me tell you what I'm covering, and we're 5 minutes in. We are going to go fully transparent. My disclaimer here is that it's going to be advanced, very advanced stuff, number one. Number two, I will be completely transparent. I will take probably some dislike to what I'm about to share with you, because I believe at this point, I'm going to say this with utter confidence. I believe I'm probably one of the best ones in the business at doing this now, or at this moment in time. I think so. Because making something look live is one thing, but making an automated webinar, that's what this is. It's an automated webinar. My newest version, which is the one I'm going to dissect with you tonight, not only is it important for it to look live, it needs to have a recipe to it. And it needs to really, really, really look live now. The attention span of people is less and less and less. So people are not sticking around for a pre-recorded webinar. I'm sorry, guys, they're not. And people are so intuitive, maybe. I don't know how you would say this. They're very clever at noticing if it's live or not. Don't kid yourself. There are many people, I can drop names all day long, my mentors that do automated webinars, that say they're live and they're not, and they make several 7 figures per year, and they're not even close to the level of quality you're going to experience tonight. We're above and beyond. I rarely brag. I don't know if I brag, but I'm a very humble guy. But this time around, there's an element of artistry. There's elements of artistry. There's elements of technicalities, creative technicalities, and technicalities that make it undetectable that it's not live. So, I was going to not share some of the secrets, but who wants me to put it all out there tonight? Yes, this is a standard question. I'm supposed to get some engagement. This is the kind of transparency you'll be getting from me right now. So what I'll do is, I will share with you there's 3 parts to a webinar, to an automated webinar. There's some parts that I never shared before. Who knows and who's familiar with what an automated webinar is? Please put it in the chat. To make it simple, it's a pre-recorded video that airs looking live so people can register, show up, and it looks like it's a live event when it is not. There will be some moral issues for some of you. This is why I say this is very advanced. I don't know what your personal code of ethics is. This is why I'm telling you what I do, what I'm doing, and why this will generate a lot of money, because I'm saying it's live when it's not. And I'm technically, I've outdone myself this time. Is it perfect? It's just about as perfect as everything I've seen out there. And I dig. I go into the Caleb Maddoxes. I go into the John Crestani's. John Crestani, one of the top of the food chain in automated webinars. I go into the Sam Ovens. I go into the Ty Lopez. I go into the Grant Cardones, which his are extremely untechnical. All of these people are doing extremely well because they have large audiences, and I'm learning from them every single day. But the final result, the webinar, what I'm about to share with you tonight, is day and night to what they're doing. It's better. If I put this into any of their hands, 10x, Grant. If you had this format, you would 10x. Even Lewis Howes isn't at this level. I love these guys, and they are, just to even out the playing field, they are at a level infinitesimally higher. No, they're just so much bigger than any of us are. I understand that at this time. The ones on the webinar with me tonight. Even the big guns in the background. These guys are making multiple 7 figures to 8 figures a year on automation because they built audiences and they've done it over time. And a lot of reasons that, quite frankly, I haven't cracked to those codes yet. I don't have a huge audience like they do. I don't have millions and millions and millions of regular listeners or followers. That's not an excuse. But what I'm saying is that their final product of what they're doing, not the course they're selling, the way they're selling it, I've done them all. I've gone through all of their funnels. I've attended all of their webinars. They don't hold a candle to what I'm about to teach you right now. So here it is. Who wants to learn? Who wants to see how I do things tonight? It'll take 2 weeks. Who's ready for a behind the curtain look? We're only 12 minutes in. I gave some disclaimers, and I will keep dropping them as we go here. And why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to. I really want. I want to help. I do. I'm not making any money here. I'm not making any money by teaching you what I'm doing. And the way this automated webinar is built, the content of the webinar itself, to keep people on, to keep people engaged, to give you credibility, to get people to use all the formulas of webinars that I've learned, and I've been doing webinars since the beginning. All of those formulas by the greats, I've done them, I've tried them, I've picked up on the commonalities. This works, this doesn't work, this worked before but doesn't work today. This is relevant today. This is on trend with today. What you're about to see is the amalgamation of all that through it went through the Marc Lalonde ringer. So I'm going to say this. 90% of you here tonight are going to struggle. You're going to struggle with setting it up. I will lay out all the components that are necessary. As a matter of fact, I will provide you with some stuff such as a preloaded chat. Do you guys know what that means, a preloaded chat? Yes, we're into it. Yes, we dove right in. We're into it. Here's what I was going to teach you guys tonight. I think I didn't say the point form. Let's say it. Number 1 is going to be the intro to the webinar. Number 2 will be the webinar content. Number 3 will be the close to the webinar, what those things should contain. As a matter of fact, let's just kick it off. It's going to take 2 weeks. Here's my plan. For all the content creators out there, we're going to have 2 more weeks of affiliate strategies, and those will be with the webinar. Are we okay with that? Because this is the one thing that we can fully automate and scale. I don't know if you guys know, I'm back on Facebook. I think I told you earlier, I did tell you earlier, I'm really good at Facebook ads. I can scale that. I'm getting extremely advanced at Twitter ads. Yes, I'm back on Twitter as well. Twitter ads are crazy. Twitter targeted ads are crazy. Now I'm actually getting into Instagram ads and Pinterest ads. Would you believe? I want to keep going and going. By the way, I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. This is the last you'll see of this. I had to throw that in there. That's my squirrel. Haircut tomorrow. So enjoy for your viewing pleasure the last day of this beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous mane. Hair comment, throwing in, check. Okay? So I went off the rails a little bit, but I'm reluctant, but here we go. Shall we begin? Shall we begin? I will share my screen a lot today. I will start with a picture in picture. And here we go. Let's start with, and everything is pre-recorded. Everything is pre-recorded. You do not need to be there on this automated webinar. Now here's my final disclaimer. No, that's not true. Many of you are not going to do this. Many of you don't have the software to do this. Many of you are going to hit a lot of roadblocks along the way, and you will crawl into a corner and say, I'm not meant to do this. But you have to trip up. You have to do a bunch of crappy versions. You have to screw up before you get good at building this thing out. I'm giving you as much as I possibly can in 2 weeks. Okay? So if anything, pay attention, get some ideas, and be very, very, very aware that this is what puts the food on my table. This is what keeps the lights on. This is what makes me very friggin' rich. And this is what will make me extremely rich because it scales. 8 figures ain't nothing but a thing now. It's going to happen within a year for me now. Less now. Yes, because of what you're about to experience. 16 minutes, that's really short for everything I said. That's my disclaimer. Stick around, get what you can out of it, and many of you are equipped for this. Who has Webinar Jam? I mean, I'm going to just go. I'm going to start from the beginning. Oh, schedule. Schedule is this. This week, I break it all down for you. I tell you how it's built. I'll share with you some of the components. I'll share with you everything except the clothes, because I haven't filmed it yet. I need to get a haircut for that, and I'll explain why. Because I have it's a live presentation, and my invitation video for that automated webinar, I can't do it with this hair because I have short hair in the webinar. And if I'm inviting someone to a webinar tonight, and they show up on the webinar, I look the same, thank God. I haven't aged that much. It's 3 months ago. I look exactly the same, obviously. It's 6 months ago I did that automated webinar for Brand Resume. But when I close them, that's going to be okay because I do a screen share at that point. So it's just my voice. My voice doesn't change. Are you guys with me? I haven't recorded the close yet, but I will have it recorded by next week. And I'll tell you why. Well, first of all, time factors. And second of all, I want you guys to participate in it. So you guys could go into the chat next week. Then I could save all of your comments in the chat, bring it in Excel, give it to you guys so you could put that on your webinars. So if you participate and come in the chat, I don't know, my name will be Marco. I'm going to go in with you guys and I'll be like, oh, this is amazing, Marc. And I'll participate. We'll fill up that chat on the initial webinar, the initial run next week. And that'll be it. Then I'll give you guys those comments. You can upload them on your webinar. You'll get my full webinar. You plug it in, you plug in the chat, and that will display on you. And you could adjust it if you like. So if told you it was advanced. If I'm all over the place, it's okay. It'll make more sense as we go. I think I was pretty clear. Automated webinars are like a unicorn. Automated webinars are like a secret that nobody's doing. And the ones who are doing it are multi-millionaires per year because they're scaling. And the ones that are doing it are not doing it as well as it can be done. I believe we're doing it the best possible way. Okay, so that's what we're doing next week is we're going to run it. And the reason, I'm going to send you to the registration page now. So this week, I'm showing you exactly how it's built. I'll share with you the intro, the content, and the close. I'll share with you all those components tonight. Next week, we show up on the first run of it. So I won't be live next week. And we start at 8 p.m. I'll give you the registration link right now. As a matter of fact, it's the first thing I could think of, yo. Ask Lalonde, go register now or write it down. This is for next week when I run the first run of this webinar. And we all get in the chat and we support the webinar because you will all get that chat after. So you could integrate it into your webinar software if you have it. Now, if you are going to participate in this, it's like a big collaboration. The more people that comment positively, the better. People show up on your webinar and there's a bunch of people commenting, the better it is. That makes sense, right? So next week we're doing the run of it. And the URL is asklalonde.com/90210. I don't know. I saw a flashback thing on Instagram about the Beverly Hills 90210 as I was creating the folder. And I go, okay, what do I name it? Webinar prep or chat, building our chat? Like, what do I rename that directory? And just go 90210. It'll be easy to remember. So go register for that now. Just go do it now, guys. Just open up another browser window. I'll see who registered. If you're going to comment on that next week, be very, very aware that you are giving permission for others to use you as a comment, and you will get the chat as well. That's a huge gift. Do you guys understand what kind? Look at this hair. Do you guys understand what kind of gift that is? Do you guys understand how difficult it is to mimic a chat at the right time? So when I show you results, and maybe if a dozen of you show up, and a dozen of you say, oh my God, that's amazing. Oh my God, I want a brand resume. And at the end, I go, okay, who's picking it up? And a dozen of you say, I'm picking it up, picking it up, I'm picking it up, I'm picking it up. I just purchased it. I just clicked the PayPal button. Like, as you guys all do this, we're supporting each other. Most of you have it anyways. So are you lying? Well, you're participating in the initial chat. That's why your personal code of ethics will come into play here. Do I make up names when I start this journey out on my automated webinars? I've got 7 automated webinars going now. This is my newest one. Look at the sweat. This is my newest one. So have I ever made up names? I have. To get things rolling until people leave real comments, then I delete the fictional names afterwards. I'm just saying. But in this case, I don't want to do fictional names. I want you guys to participate. Does that make sense? I hope so. Very uncomfortable to share this stuff. As you can tell, I'm sweating. It's not particularly hot. Well, it's a little hot. I'm sweating. I'm a little more red than I usually am. There's a few reasons. Reason number one is because most people would say, how dare you say it's live when it's not? But there are not that many of you that are getting this information now. So I don't feel, it's a load off to be transparent, but I don't need, and the second reason is I don't need to share all these secrets, but I am anyways. So there you have it. Next week we run it live. Are we cool with that? I hope so. I wish I had this information, but you couldn't do this when I started out. You couldn't do it at this level, that's for sure. Cheers. Okay, so let's go. Intro. Intro to a live webinar. You need a countdown to when the webinar begins. You should have a countdown. Now, if you're saying to yourself, I've never seen this before, or I've never seen it done this way. If you're saying that at any point in this webinar, guys, tonight, as I'm teaching this, if at any point you're saying, I've never seen it done this way, no, you probably haven't. That's how much this is cutting edge. If I was selling something to you, I would sell the concept. But all I'm going to say is that you probably want to pay attention to what I'm saying tonight. Okay? I have no, I'm not going to oversell it. I'm really trying to contain my excitement. I'm trying to keep my happy face on, which is neutral, because the less of you that take action, the more honey's in it for me. More honey, more money. Like the more, it's a land, this isn't a land grab. Most people won't do it. So let's go. As the webinar begins, I'll share with you the countdown right now. I put a really cool design to it, and I'll provide you guys with that as well. The countdown is a countdown timer. It should be a 5-minute timer that counts down. I made a pretty fancy schmancy. Let me put the image there now. I'm just going to do picture in picture. Which side could I put it on? There it is. There it is. You guys see it right there. I see it. It's right there. Okay. Do you see it on the webinar? You should see it on the webinar. Okay, so this is just the video. I'm just going to go like this, push play for a sec. See the way, well, let me start from the beginning. See, so when the webinar starts, when it begins, this is all secret stuff here. When the webinar begins, there it goes. 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 minutes. Okay, now it's going. I'll let it go. I'll let it go as I'm speaking. So this is in your video. The whole webinar is just one video, but creating that video is what the difficult part is. Now, while this is going on, see now it's at 4:39, 4:38. While this is on the screen, the webinar has begun. So people are coming in. So now your chat will start having people say, hello, 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 hello. This is pre-programmed. This is the chat you'll be getting. So when you guys see this next week, you're going to hear me say, hey guys, how are you? Where are you from? Who's here? La, la, la. I won't say any names next week, but here's what I will do after that. I will. As a matter of fact, who's coming next week for sure? I'll shout you out. So that in the timer, when I say, hey Carol, how are you? Hey Brady, hey Anthony, hey. I don't know, I'm thinking of the regular LaBoomers right now. Where are you from? As a matter of fact, I won't bother. Next week, I'll say it. You put it in the chat. Then when I save that chat, I told you this is advanced. When I save that chat, I redo that sound portion to correspond with the chat, just for that timer. So next week, I'll just be saying, what's your name? Where are you from? We're starting at 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Okay, we have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock before I come out. You guys with me? This is just the voice while this is on the whole screen. So people that are attending, they're like, oh my God, he's really there. It's really live. He just said 3 minutes and 6 seconds. I'll be out okay, we got 3 minutes and 1 second left. Look at the timer. So that's happening in the back. So I'm sweating. These are secrets I don't reveal. I don't reveal this stuff. So now next week I'll be saying, what's your name and where you're from? But what I'll do in the real version, because next week we're populating the chat. When I re-record it, I replace that sound clip with the names of the people that commented. So on the next run, the actual automated webinar, after we've collected all of your comments, then I know, oh, Carol says hi at 10 seconds in. Brady comes in at 12 seconds. We have Lynn, we got we got Tamara, we got, I should give out some legit shout outs here. I'm just going through the LaBoom Squad private group to get some real names. Okay, so here we go. Erica, where are you from? Tamara, who's active in here? Timothy, Sharon, Deborah, we got Vandana, we got Brian, we got Adolphus, we got Betty. So next week when you guys comment, I'm going to redo that portion with me shouting you out. So when I say we got, I don't know where you guys are from, but I will know next week because you'll put it. See, so now we're at 1:30. 1:30 left, and we have Tamara coming in from, I don't know where are you from, Tamara? from Houston, Texas. We got Texas in the house. We got, look at that, we got Iowa in the house. We got Arizona in the house. I'm going to be saying these in the background while this timer is going on, while people are putting it in the chat. Do you guys understand what that does to the people who are popping in? And they're like, well, this is live. He asks people where they're from, and he's saying, oh, we got Texas in the house. And he's saying all their names as they're coming in, and he's responding to them. Are you guys with me? So now we got 48 seconds left on the clock. I'm about to come out. You guys understand what I just explained to you, right? This here, let's stop the timer. Well, let's see what happens. When the timer stops, then we get into something before we actually start. I don't teach this stuff, do I? You guys don't get to see behind the doors of the serious stuff. You don't see this. You do not see this on automated webinars. Even Sam Ovens is not even close to this advanced. Neither is Lewis Howes. I love you guys. You guys paved the way for this. And what you're doing is extremely advanced, but this is like other level. So see, 2 seconds, 1 second, okay. And then what would happen is I will go from here and I say a little chat. You guys will see what I say in the webinar. I think I basically say, get a pen and paper ready. Before I come out, this is what I say. I'm going to share with you. That's the live countdown. And acknowledging attendees. That's part 1. 31 minutes in. What I gave you guys tonight is going to separate you from everyone else that's doing automated webinars. And there aren't that many. Okay? Grant Cardone just started doing them last year. And thank God he did. Because his events... Stop. I can go off track. This is the best possible way to... These are my secrets. If that didn't blow your mind, that's okay. I know what you're probably saying. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Well, very simple. I give you that video. I give you my whole webinar. I let you download the whole video, and then you replace that sound with your voice. And when the timer's over, you go, okay, Mark, you take it away now. Get creative on that. So there will be a lot of stones unturned in tonight. But that right there, I gotta take a sip. I gotta take a sip of drink. That's something I didn't. I hope not many people see this video because it's really strategic, that. And technically doing it, I mean, you're getting the chat. So who's participating next week? Put it in the chat now. If you're coming next week, for sure, it's going to be 8 p.m. next Thursday. I'll put the link. Well, the link is there, 90210. Register for that. That registration page will be fancied up when I start running the live webinar, the automated webinar, but I need my haircut first because I got short hair when I teach in that webinar. Is this making sense so far? Okay, so many of you have seen the brand resume webinar itself. Let me take a sip. Where I do the hero's journey and all that fun stuff. But what you haven't seen is the timer. This timer, it's an anchoring point. It's an anchoring point for the attendees. It anchors them into it's like anchoring a price. When you anchor someone at a high price, when you anchor a course at a high price, $2,000 brand resume, and add value and anchor it at $2,000, when you sell that for under $100, or when you sell the $2,000 course for, let's say, $200, they've been anchored at $2,000. So 200 it's a no-brainer. But if you sell the course, you say, well, the course is $200. Then they're like, well, it seems a little expensive because you didn't anchor them at a top. Now, what we're doing here, advanced. Hopefully I'm explaining it well. Cutting edge stuff here. We're playing with psychology. What we do here is, with the timer is, and the chat is, we anchor them into thinking they're on the live event. Once that is anchored, now you have their attention. Now they're involved. Now they like being there, not alone. Now they like not watching a replay. Marc Lalonde is pulling back that curtain big time so far, eh? Okay, next what you want to do is, once the timer runs out, here's your opportunity to share your micro story. Because who are you? Who are you? They're not going to micro story, as you will see. Who you are you, and why they should listen to you. Who are you? Why they should listen to you, and what they will get. Keep something in mind here, folks. These are brand new people. These are not people that know, like, and trust you yet. I run ads to these things. Brand new people. Automation is automation. I'm not once they're in my blog and all that, and this kind of stuff like we're doing here, we all know each other. We're more cash. But in this type of thing, people don't know me. I have about 10 minutes to sell them on me. You have 10 minutes to sell them on you, unless you want to use me, because you can plug me in. Please do. More exposure for me. But even if you plug me in, people don't know. Why would they listen to me? Because I got a book of Steve Jobs behind me? Should I go pop out a ton of cash? That wouldn't hurt. Maybe I should step out of my Ferrari before I come on. That wouldn't hurt. I'm going to save that stuff for the ads to get them to register. Because a guy coming out of a Ferrari with a couple of beautiful women, apparently, it's not apparently, I'm on TikTok, yo, it works. I will have many creative ads to get people to the webinar, but once they're on the webinar, now I need to tell them who I am and why they should listen to me. Clear? I'm going to share with you my clip. Many people do they plug in a video. They do. They go, Caleb Maddox spoke on several stages. He did this. He earned $1 million. They plug in that video. Once again, I like to keep the live vibe. So who wants to see my intro about me, my credibility, interlaced with what they will get? It's my best piece of work yet. I basically show my results. I show my results. I say a little bit about myself so they get to know me. So even if they drop out of the webinar, I got something out of it. Next time they see me, they go, oh, it's that guy. I remember him. At least I got that. At least I got to share a bit of myself. So I have to do, this needs to be done in between 10 and 20 minutes. And if you're saying, my God, that's already half an hour into the webinar. Well, so be it. I'm sharing with you the recipe. This webinar will go on for hours. 2.5, maybe 3, maybe 2. Well, the webinar will be a little over an hour. The intro, that right there was 5 minutes. I talk for another 5 minutes after about saying, get your pen and paper. We are live. I throw in a couple of comments. I respond to comments to get them anchored as a live video. I do that here. So that's about 10 minutes taken up. Then I spend about 10 to 15 minutes selling myself and sharing my income and sharing my results. I do that. And I do it hard. I do it aggressively. I do. If you're asking yourself, well, I don't have those results. Well, then I don't know what to tell you. I have pretty good results. I've been doing this for 5 years. I have amazing results and I brag about them. I have to on these things. Please don't get it twisted. I am humble, but I've done some pretty amazing things in the past 5 years. I've had some paramount failures. I've had failures that made me cry, like for real. Let me take a sip here. And I'm not talking personal failures. I'm talking about like failures. Like this didn't work. I lost so much money, or I'm never going to make it in this marketing thing, or I just want to give up all the time, or the successes I've had were because I failed a crap load. So I'm very proud of the successes I've had. I must display them without mentioning the failures. Once again, strategic. Okay, so do you guys want to see? Whether you want to see it or not, I'll share it with you because it's value. I can't tell you what your results are. If you're asking yourself, can I just use your results clip? Of course you can. You can say, I'm working with Marc Lalonde, or this. Get creative on that part. That light is bright right now. Ooh. I'm full of color, and I just shaved too. So I'm just like, I'm glowing, right? I'm excited. This content is cool. So what I'm going to do, I could let this play. Let me just go to the part of the, okay. I'm going to let it play right when the countdown ends. Okay, guys? Would you like to see that? You got about 10 minutes of when the countdown ends to what I say, because of course I give all the shout outs, to when right now, to get a pen and paper ready, I think I say. Then I say I need to share a little bit of myself, and then I start sharing myself. I share income, and then we get into the webinar. You got about 12 minutes-ish, 15 minutes-ish. I'm going to make it on the big screen, though, not in the little... I'm blowing it up. I'm going to watch it with you, and that's the whole intro to an automated webinar. Now, don't forget to show up next week when this actual real thing happens. So let me plug that. Let me play that from here. And, okay, so I'm going to mute out here. We're going to plug in who I am, why they should listen to me, and what they will get. And then at the point where I come out live, that part, I'm not showing tonight. I'll show you where to get it, okay? I'll show you where to get it. It's on the brand resume. It's the intro webinar. Just let me play this. So now you're getting it in sequential order of exactly how it should look and go, okay? So here we go. Here we go. I'm just going to plug it in. It's ready to go. I'm going to expand it. There we go. So it's expanded. Now I'm going to mute out, and I'm going to play it from here. And that was a super quick countdown timer. We got 10 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with a video clip that has no sound. And what I will do from there is I will just talk over it. Okay, guys? So here we go. I'm switching the screen. It's time to begin. Here we go. Okay, just got to click one more little thing here, and here we go. We will start with a little bit about me. Who is Marc? Who is Marc Lalonde? Okay, we'll start with this on my brand resume. My name is Marc Lalonde. I'm also known as The Wealthy Trainer. If you want to see more, guys, you go to thewealthytrainer.com. I'm going to keep the About Me portion of this live event super short because we have value to provide tonight, okay? Right now I'm on the About page, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the home page and we're going to go through the different hats that I wear in my everyday life. I call them hats. Some people call them titles, but really what they are to me are things that I'm pretty darn good at and things that I love to do. So let's go to the home page and let's take a look at my sliding images and videos here. I've been blessed to be a leader in many companies, as well as learn from some of the best leadership leaders in the world. I am an entrepreneur, always have been, always will be. Even if you go back to when I was 17 years old, selling pet food door to door, we'll get into that in a sec. Which brings me to sales. I've been selling things all my life. When I started to personally brand myself, my business completely changed. That's what I'm teaching you guys to do today. About 25 years ago, I was a certified personal trainer. That's actually me right there. I lost 52 pounds in 2 months. I'm the founder and CEO of an online personal branding educational platform. I'm an online marketer, which means I run ads. That's probably how you found me and ended up here tonight. I've been a network marketer for the past 7 years, which basically means build teams of salespeople and lead them. I'm a speaker, whatever that means. In other words, I teach what I know, to live audiences. I'm an investor because I invest my money wisely. That's actually me and Brett Wilson from Dragon's Den. And I am a philanthropist. Yes, that's actually me and Jim Watson right there, which is the mayor of Ottawa, Canada. Ottawa is my hometown, it's my city, and it's also the capital of Canada. So those are my highlights, and that's on the home page of my brand resume right here. You will all have one of these by the time we're done tonight. So even before we jump into it, write this down. What are your highlights? What are your titles, and what hats do you wear? You don't have to write them down now, just make note of this. And this gives me the opportunity to ask you to go get a pen and paper if you don't have one already. You will need to take notes tonight. Okay, so let's go back to my About page on my brand resume. That's pretty quick. Those are my highlights. Those are the hats I wear. Those are my quote-unquote titles. Now what I'll give you is my micro story. If you go to my About page at thewealthytrainer.com, you may not want to check it out right now because it's quite a long story. If you look all the way down, it goes. It's basically from when I started in my online journey, if you will, after quitting my computer job 7 years ago. But in short, if you go to the top of this page, you will see who is Marc. I will read it off to you really quick. It's just a couple of paragraphs. Then you'll have an idea of who I am and why I'm credible. And after reading this, I must share a couple of little income, or should I say financial success credibility as well. I'm not supposed to say income on these things. So here we go. Who is Marc? This will be kind of fun. I love talking in the third person. Marc is me, guys. Hello, how are you? But I will speak about myself in the third person. So I'll just read it off right here. Marc M. Lalonde, also known as The Wealthy Trainer, trademarked, is the founder and CVO of Branding YOUniversity, an online personal branding university. Marc caught the entrepreneurial bug at 17 years old when he started selling pet food door to door. Since then, Marc has experienced both extremes of life, going from being a successful computer consultant with several side businesses to falling into substance abuse, which led to him getting fired, going broke, and becoming homeless. However, he was able to bounce back, earning a 7-figure income while helping thousands of people from around the globe to find financial freedom by doing what they love. Since launching Branding YOUniversity, Marc has helped entrepreneurs, small business owners, real estate agents, insurance brokers, authors, actors, musicians, lawyers, teachers, industry-specific professionals, and of course, people with a specific passion from around the globe brand themselves. Marc's purpose is to help people brand themselves as leaders and authorities in either their specific niche or in whatever their passion is, while creating an income doing what they love. Wow, this Marc guy sounds like an interesting fella, doesn't he? Okay, that's really weird reading that this way, but that's how the editor wrote it. So there you have it, guys. If you want to know more about me, you can just go to the About page afterwards. My story's here in video form. I'll just scroll down here super fast, and it starts at the beginning. 21 jobs by the age of 25. No career focus, no educational focus. Then I get into my father's death, how that started a fire inside of me. Then I get into my first professional job in computers. Did that for 20 some years, and it was a lot of money, but the stress was awful. Ended up becoming an alcoholic, getting addicted to drugs, losing everything, being homeless. I went from there with affirmations and positive thinking, and then got into network marketing, started selling wellness products and built sales teams. And then from there, I started getting professional leadership coaching and started online marketing and branding myself. And then I started teaching others to do it, and they started to pay me a whole lot of money. And now tonight, I'm giving you guys the formula to a brand resume, and I'm kind of going off the cuff as this is scrolling, so I'll stop it from scrolling. And that's about it, guys. I mean, here I am today. It all comes down what you're going to learn tonight, which is your brand resume. Many of you may have a job resume, but I'm sure most of you don't have a brand resume. They're completely different. And that was long enough for the About Me section of this live event. I kind of rambled on as that was scrolling down. It was kind of cool to do. Like sometimes I get long-winded about this kind of stuff, but I literally did that in a few minutes. That's pretty awesome. But now we have to get into the financial successes I've had and the business successes I've had. I've kept this portion, or should I say, I will keep this portion to under 1 minute long. This is something I don't like doing in live webinars. I mean stuff like showing business leads, how many leads I generate, showing income, flashing checks, showing bank accounts, showing leaderboards. And I'm being serious, guys. Like, I really don't like doing this, but I have to do it really quickly because when I attend a live event myself, I'm more likely to pay attention and, more importantly, apply what I learn if the person has been financially successful. So I understand this part. So here we go then. I'm going to come out live and we could get started, okay? Okay, here we are. So a little disclaimer first and then a little bit of legal action. I got to do this. This video was actually screenshot, I believe a couple of years ago, maybe 2018-ish. I rarely log into PayPal accounts and bank accounts and flash checks live because of account numbers and such. And also because I've grown so much in the past couple of years that it's really kind of unrealistic what kind of money you can make at scale when you actually do have a brand resume like I have right now and like you will have tonight. Like, I don't want to dive into it right now because we're about to, but you guys ever hear perception is reality? When you guys have a brand resume like you guys will have after tonight, or should I say you'll at least start working on it after tonight, the perception of you will be so grandioso or grand and will just become more and more grand the more you add to it. You'll be an industry leader in whatever niche it is you are in. So when people buy something, they buy from people they know, like, and trust. And that's what the brand resume does, and it does it at scale. So you see, I'm already starting to teach. I don't want to be doing this. Let's get through the credibility stuff. I will share with you my PayPal account from a few years ago. Let's start there. But before we do so, let's take a look at the legal. The little note at the bottom of the screen. I do have 2 lawyers on retainer. So they advised me to put this in at this point on any live event. So it says, Marc Lalonde is a professional online marketer and personal branding expert with over 5 years of practical experience. The sole purpose of this 1 minute video, and it is 1 minute, guys, is to give Marc credibility and does not guarantee that you will get the same results. So, like I mentioned, this is a couple of years ago. My income has gone up dramatically since then, and it would be kind of unrealistic to share my live stuff anyways, because I'm scaling now, and you will be scaling as well. So, let's go. So this is when I was making about 6 figures a month, which is 7 figures a year, and these were sales of a product that I was selling, a digital product, and you sell several per day. Again, the sole purpose of this is for credibility. Whenever I'm required to show more income streams due to possible big partnership deals, well, then I provide them upon request. But for the financial credibility, this will do for tonight. Next, let's get into these leaderboards. As you can tell in my voice, guys, I'm kind of uncomfortable about this, but when I hit a leaderboard, I always hit number 1. If I don't hit number 1, I learn from it and I make sure I hit number 1 next time. Will you be able to do this by the time we're done tonight? Maybe, maybe not. But that's not what this is about. This is just for my credibility. Apparently, this is supposed to get your attention. So this is where I was number one in an affiliate system, affiliate programs, when I was selling someone else's courses when I started out in 2015-ish. Now, once you're building your own audience with people who have been to your brand resume, you can do this with any affiliate program you join. You just basically automatically become number one. I just don't want to sound like I'm some kind of talented guy here, because I'm not. I just have an effective brand resume that works, and you will all have one tonight as well. So I'm not going to share with you all the number one affiliate spots I get, because like I said, I get them all the time because of brand resume, but I'll show you a couple of the big ones. And when I say big, I mean in terms of companies and in terms of I had no idea I was number one. Here's one from a huge software company called Status Brew. It's an automation company. The reason this one is special is because I had no idea I was number one, and I had no idea that they would shout me out to their entire list of software users. I first heard of this from one of my followers. My followers sent me a screenshot of this. It said, "I wanted to personally thank you since it's been a year since we launched the Status Brew affiliate program." So this is when they started to really promote their affiliate program to their users. And then below it says, "Last year has been great since we gave 15 grand a month in affiliate payouts to all of our amazing affiliates." And there it is. Marc Lalonde, our top performer of 2017, was able to make 3 grand worth of affiliate money with just a small 2 weeks of aggressive promotion. And just to be transparent, that aggressive promotion was one click. One click to the people who have been on my brand resume and ended up in my audience. I'll share with you guys just one more quick one from another software company. This is Webinar Jam. This is pretty recent, but the reason this one is really special to me is, once again, I had no idea I could possibly be number one here. And number two is, this is among a list of the top marketers in the world. So this one really got me. But once again, it proves the effectiveness of a brand resume, which once again, I'm about to teach you right now. I did affiliate stuff for a couple of years. Then I went on to selling products of other companies. And there's just one of the last companies I worked with. Within a week, I was able to reach number one. And this pretty well happens with every company I join, every product I sell, because it all comes down to the brand resume, as you guys will see tonight. That's where I guide people first. When people see your brand resume, they know who they're dealing with. There is no resistance when you sell. Now let's go to my leads, which are business leads that I generate. Now this is a couple of years ago, so I am generating many more now. What was I doing back then? 1,000 to 2,000 leads daily. Yeah, I went up quite a bit since then. And finally, of course, when you get results like that through your brand resume, you will get massive exposure for being a top performer on huge platforms with hundreds of thousands of audience members themselves. Here's one of the first times that happened in 2015. I was the member of the month for my Lead System Pro MLSP. And every time something like this happens, your business goes up about 100x every time. Because you're audience tapping, you're getting in front of their audience. So this was a huge deal. Next after that, another big one was being selected to be on the Online Profit Playbook. That's another huge deal with the top marketers in the world. Now just share one more with you guys, probably one of the biggest ones thus far. It is the Thinkific Course Creator Interview. This is pretty recent, maybe a year ago or so. Now they selected someone out of over 100,000 users. As a matter of fact, all of the platforms I just showed you have over 100,000 users on each of them. Now I don't want to speak too soon, but as I'm driving more and more people to my brand resume, there's some kind of crazy ripple effect taking place. I can't really reveal anything now, but there's a possibility that I'm endorsed by a sneaker company. I can't mention who it is right now, but you will know. I'll be sure to plaster that all over the web, and I'll be tapping into their audience as well. There's also a possibility that I'm endorsed by an energy drink company. Yes, one of the big ones. I can't reveal that yet because it's not done, but if you watch my webinars, you see me drinking this all the time. It's all over my brand resume anyways. They may as well send me a check, right? Another thing that may actually happen, I will drop the name here because I feel I'm very close, is being endorsed by the Wix platform. And finally, probably one of the big ones again. These haven't happened yet, but there's a possibility that I am on the community texting platform. If you don't know what that is, Gary Vaynerchuk is on it, and so are celebrities. Crazy stuff, all because of my brand resume and the brand resume that we'll be building for you tonight. But there you have it, guys. That's a little bit of credibility for you. Now I'm ready to come out. Who's ready? Now you know who I am, you know what I do. I've hopefully showed you that I'm credible from a skill level, from a financially successful level, and hopefully you kind of like me at this point. If you don't like me, that's okay. I have a ton of haters, but I would still recommend you stick around, guys, to get the value. A lot of my haters show up in my webinars and don't come out in the chat because they get the value. Success leaves clues, right? So, what do you say? I did a little clap there to wake you guys up. We're going to get started. I'm coming out. Now I have to switch screens and I have to switch mics. I got to get my lapel mic. So please let me know in the chat, guys, when you can see me on the screen, okay? Here I come. Okay, can you guys see me? I have to switch mics. Oh no, that didn't work. Okay, one sec. Okay, here I come. Pretty awesome, right? I'm back. Hello. Good, thank you. You see me, good. Okay, so I guess on that what I'll say is write this down. For me to get to the level of not only getting those results, I worked for 5 years in this industry, very hard. You may have the results. As a matter of fact, some of you probably do. I don't know. But you don't need to use your online results. You can use results in your job, sales career, in your life. Talk about your family. Having children is a huge accomplishment. Like, I had to use I tried to make it congruent, but it's not really congruent because that course is about a brand resume. That course is not about making money. It's about a brand resume, and I'm sharing income a little bit. It's for credibility. So you may have to get a little creative on this. I don't know what to say about that specifically. If you say I don't have results, you do have results. You do have results of some kind. If you need to share testimonials with someone, do that. Do a testimonial exchange. You can get creative for that. Now, what do you think of that so far? Is that a pretty enticing way to, is that a pretty good start to an automated webinar? You bet it is. You bet it is. This will keep people there as much as possible. As a matter of fact, I think some of these experts would have a real hard time, once you see the chat integrated, would have a real hard time telling whether it's live or not. So if you plan on using the exact replica of this webinar, you can download the whole thing and just point ads to it. As long as at the end, you do your own sales pitch. Because I don't think you're going to want to do my sales pitch, which is what we're going to talk about right now. Right now, you guys, next week, here's what we'll do. Next week, we do the chat. Then once I integrate your chat into the week after, I give you the chat transcript, the chat file, which you add to your automated webinar software, and I give you the full video with my close. Who would like, because you're going to see the webinar next week. Who's coming? Put it in the chat. AskLalonde.com. Let me type that in the chat right now. Please write it down, guys. HTTP, no S, HTTP :// ASKLALONDE, Ask Lalonde. I'm putting it in the chat. For those of you watching the replay, ASK, Ask Lalonde, my last name, LALONDE.com/90210. Enter. That's the registration page for the first run of the webinar. So you're going to see everything that I just showed you, the countdown. You're going to see the testimonials, all the credibility, the legal. This is where you guys comment next week. Then what I do is I will provide you with those comments and who would like the actual full webinar to download. Would you like that? So all you need to do is plug and play it. You literally have to do nothing except drive traffic to it. You literally have nothing to do. You take my webinar from beginning to end with my results. And it's almost like you're an affiliate, but you're bringing them to your school. You'll have to change the close at the end. You'll have to edit that. But would you like the whole thing, including that? If you would like the whole thing, that's a good thing. So then in the chat next week, put in the comments. Say, oh my God, that's so amazing. Those results are incredible. Oh my God, I can't wait. Oh, this is mind-blowing. The more of that you put in, the better. Because if a dozen of you do that, how would you feel if you went onto a webinar and the comments were popping like that? Then at the end of the webinar, everybody was picking it up. You'd feel pretty darn good, wouldn't you? So, brand resume in the course itself, that's what I'm selling. Now we're going to get into the close. That was the whole intro to my perfect automated webinar. It's better than anything I've ever done. Because here's good news for you guys. What you've just learned tonight, as the kids were saying again, what does that mean? What does that even mean? You know, you should be paying more attention. Snarky kids these days, eh? No manners. They weren't brought up like I was brought up. Now we're going to get into the close, but so far, so good. If you're coming, yes, you're coming. Good. If we can get a dozen of you to come, you know what you can do, as a matter of fact? If you're coming for sure, say, I'm coming. And say, this is where I'm from. Say it. Tell me what state you're from. Where are you from in the world? Put it in, guys, like, hello. You guys put it in now. And what I can do is I can actually integrate that in the beginning immediately. But if you're not there, it'll look funny. But it doesn't matter. We're just populating the chat. So if I say, Roger from Austin, Texas, if you're here and you're putting that in the chat right now, I'll download this chat from tonight and I'll integrate you. So you should come. You should come. Big time. Okay? You should come next week. It'll be, the more people we get to populate that chat, the better. And then you guys will have the chat and you'll have the webinar. I already said it. Now, how am I going to sell at the end? This is the point where you're going to need your own school to do this. Or you can cut it out when I share my screen and say, well, if you're using me for the whole way through, it doesn't matter. At this point, I'm going to tell you what I'm selling, how I'm selling this. And this is a recipe that works. This is a recipe. You may ask, but why? But why that? But why are you not doing it this way? That's okay. It's good to ask questions. But I will let you know that I've done hundreds of webinars. Hundreds. Would I say thousands? No, hundreds over the past 5 years. Hundreds and a couple of dozen automated webinars. As a matter of fact, more like 25-ish that have earned me income over the years. I've been doing these for a very long time. Jean-Paul Cartier says, your 10,000 first photographs are the worst. I just got better and better at doing them. So the good news for you guys is this is the result of a lot of efforts on my part. My first automated webinar had no chat, and it still worked. But then when I added a chat, oh yeah, I haven't added a chat for a while. When I allowed people to leave a comment, that was a little better. Then I went to the next iteration in my years of creating these. Then I went into saying I'm live when I'm not. Just by saying that, sales went through the roof. People stuck through. I'm like, well, I feel a little uneasy about saying that, but I got used to it real quick. I did, because it was 10x the results. It was more. It was ridiculous by literally saying I'm live. Before that, I used to not say I'm live and not say I'm not live. Just say, hey everybody. That was pretty good. But when I would specifically say we're live right now, then it was even better, way better. We're live right now. Hey everybody. Just by doing that, I'm like, well, I'm doing that because I'm going to sell them something that's going to serve them. Therefore, I'll get their attention. And once they get to know me, they'll be like, oh my God, you weren't even live? I'm like, no, I'm never live. 90% of the time, I'm not live. Now you know. Did you like the product? Hell yeah. And so that's up to you, okay? My next iteration, I'm kind of guiding you guys through the journey. After that, I got the chat in there. Before the chat, I was able to allow the technology wasn't even available like 3 years ago. Before the chat, I would allow them to leave a comment. That's it. That made it a little better. But once I enabled the chat, through the roof. Now that I'm not only having a pre-programmed chat, now that I'm engaging with the chat, that's a whole other level. And now that I have the countdown where I'm engaging with the chat, that's a whole other level. So you guys with me on that? Like, this is the cream of my crop so far. So there you have it. It took me a lot of bad ones to get here, and you have the good one right away. For those of you that are not doing automated webinars, and this is your first time building one out, I have 2 words to say to you. You're welcome. Let's make it 3. You're very welcome. You're very, very, very welcome. This stuff works, and I believe I'm laying it out pretty well. There are stones unturned, but in the most part, it's all there. Now here's how I close. I haven't filmed this part, but it will be on the webinar next week when you guys attend. Number 1, I'm going to share my screen. So you guys got the whole intro. We went through all that. That's what it's going to play automatically with the chat corresponding. After that, the content, if you go to Brand Resume course, you know module 1, the intro, where it says, here's the initial presentation. That's what I plug in. That's what I plug in. Then at the end of that, where I share Gary Vaynerchuk, all that stuff. Some of you have seen it. Some of you have not. I don't say dates. I don't get into specifics. That's the content of the webinar. Then at the end, I say, well, you're good to go, but I can help some of you. Okay? And that's where, let me share my screen. Then it stops there. That's where I will close. And that's going to be a long one. That I close, well, here's how it works. Who's ready to know look, it's on a crappy piece of paper. There's my close. I'm going to tell you what it is, and you will all experience it next week. And then you'll get the video. So you may want to edit that part, or maybe you won't. But I know what many of you will say. Why so cheap, Mark? Why so inexpensive? You should charge more. That's okay if you say that. I can't tell you why I basically give it away. There's too many reasons that are non-tangible. There are too many reasons that are non-tangible. When I get somebody to spend a little amount of money on me, then I could start. Then they'll keep buying. If there are too many reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, so if you want to charge more, you can do that. You can change the close. But here's how my close will go. I'm selling Brand Resume. This is how this close will be. So I'm going to anchor brand resume at $2,000 by showing them what's in it. But while I'm doing that, I will say, but not for you guys tonight. I'm basically going to let you guys have it for free. Just stick around. Let me show you what's in it. So I'll basically give it to you because you made the effort to be with us live tonight. I'm rehearsing, but this is a little bit how it's going to go. I'm going to anchor it that it's worth $2,000 by showing the modules closed, not unlocked. So I won't go into my closed copy. That's how the strategy begins. So they go, holy crap, holy crap. At this point, they want the course. They stuck around that whole time. They want the course. They want help. They want to do this. Yes, almost all of them. It's ridiculous, especially on this one. So I anchor it at $2,000. Then I sell it at a discount. I sell it at a discount. How much am I going to discount it? I'm going to discount it. And I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down. You guys know how I roll. Maybe this, maybe that. I don't know. Maybe this. Should I, shouldn't I? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go all the way down to 90% off tonight only. If you got click now though, 90% off. So instead of $2,000, $200 because, reason why, scarcity, urgency, we'll get into that, because they came tonight. But I just say, 90% off, guys. I can't believe I'm doing this. Go ahead, click here. Here's your coupon code because I'm using the school. You could say, here's the PayPal button. I'm telling you how I'm doing it. You'll see it next week. And this is the part next week where all of you guys say, I'm in, I just did it, I'm buying it. $200 is a steal, 90% off, are you crazy? Put that in the chat next week because you're all getting that chat. And if people are coming and they see that, do you think they're not joining the party? Of course they are. You're going to get like 50% closing rate. Unheard of numbers. Remember, this is automated. It's going all the time. Every day you got these running. I'm doing one per day. So that's what I do. I sell it at $200. And then what I do, I'm not done yet. I have to close early because a lot of people don't have time to stick around. So that's my first close. You're going to close. My first close, a portion of them will buy right away. You've done enough work. But then you don't need to leave. They bought. You can stick around or not. You keep selling. So what I do is the next phase is I go, well, guys, since you're here, I see many of you are getting in. And then that's when we can integrate little, since I'm screen sharing, I could re-record that part and say, oh, welcome Carol, welcome Brady, welcome Anthony, welcome Tamara, whoever comments on next week, I'm going to redo that recording so the chats match. So when you guys get the recording, it's going to match with the chat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm live, and Carol or Anthony or Brady or Tamara or I'm drawing a blank. I should say more of your names. There are guys, some of you are doing the work big time, or you're working. You're working at your craft. And I don't see it much because I'm not on Facebook. Well, I am now, but I haven't been spending time on social media. It's a waste of time. The only thing that's stealing my time right now is that damn TikTok. And that's a whole other topic. That thing is insane. That thing's blowing my mind. And as soon as we're done content creators, I'm a full-time TikToker. I am. I mean, that was the squirrel. That was the squirrel. TikTok is dangerous. I would compare TikTok to crack cocaine. Did I say that? It's crazy. You get on that thing, you can't get off. There's an opportunity, to get people hooked. It's crazy. I don't want to go there. That was a big squirrel. I can't go on it too often because it's entertaining as hell. It's so entertaining. But which means where there's entertainment and where there's attention, there's huge opportunity. And I will crack the TikTok code. I just right now focus this here because this is paying the dollars. This is paying the bills big time. TikTok isn't. TikTok is, I don't even know what to do with it yet. There's people with millions and millions of followers and they're broke. They are. Believe me, they are. I know they are. I contacted many of them. They're like, well, I haven't made any money online yet. I'm like, Holy shit. If I had your audience, so I'll focus on that later, but we are focusing on the correct things. Because once we get on TikTok and dominate there with our audience, we can point them to a webinar. Once I get my million followers on TikTok, I keep putting out my stuff and I go, if you guys ever thought of working from home, come to .com tonight. We have a webinar. Could you imagine if Charlie DeMeo did that? She only charges 40 grand for a shout out. I'm thinking about 40 grand. That's nothing. For a video, I gotta relax because she won't, that's cheap. So in other words, if I pay her $40,000, she'll make a TikTok video saying, my good friend Marc Lalonde, the wealthy trainer, you guys should follow him on TikTok. Here, you guys should follow him. If she does that, I'll pay 40 grand for that. Of course I would. I think there's a catch though. I haven't seen her do that, yet it's in her services. If Charlie DeMeo does that, you know, she's got 68 million followers. Am I going to, if 1% of them follow me, would I pay 40 grand for a million TikTok followers? Yes. The answer is yes. Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. But now it's interesting. Because we can do this, we can turn a million followers into multiple 8 figures. And audience members that buy. Scary stuff what we know and what we're learning here. So, let's go back to what we were saying. Oh yeah, Erica, I keep forgetting you. You're brand new, eh? You're an action taker because I see you all over in here. Timothy, Sharon, the unusual suspects. Brian, Lynn. Okay, all of yous. I will... where was I even going with this? I got distracted by the topic of TikTok. Yeah, you tell me where you're... Hi, how are you? Totally lost my train of thought. Script. So after I do that and I sell, I give shout outs to the ones who purchased. And then I get into the unlocked version. I go, well, since we would like to welcome you guys to the brand resume course. Now what I like to do is I like to go into the unlocked version. Let me show you what it looks like inside. So then I show parts of the video clips. I get into it a little more in my unlocked version. And then I go, so guys, and then I sell again. I go, so tonight only, 90% off, $200 instead of $2 grand. And then I add reason why, urgency and scarcity on my second sell. Because now I got a bunch of the people that purchased initially, then I show them a more value, more of what they're getting, and then I sell again to the remaining people that didn't buy. I won't sell to all of them, but if they're still on watching, I'm going to keep trying. So now I may sell like, I don't know, if 100 people show up, well, they don't. It's an automated webinar, but I make it look like 300 show up. We can adjust those numbers. Maybe we'll get into that a little. You'll see. You can adjust how many people you want to show up. But then if you've got 1,000 people showing up and the comments don't adjust to that, then it looks fishy. So what I like to do is I like someone's squealing out of here. They're like, I was going to make a joke, but it's no time for a joke because this is my happy face. If I'm showing 300 people on, I like to have about 50 active chat users. So if 12 of you or 24 of you, apparently we're going to have a good turnout next week. If the chat is mixed in with 25 people, well then I can have an attendance of about 200 because it looks like 200 people. 25 people chatting consistently can look like about 4 times the amount. Yeah, it's true. Like if 5 people were chatting the whole way through, and you said there's 20 people attending, it looks pretty realistic because not everyone comes out in the chat. So what I do is for the remaining that didn't buy, I got to keep going. Remember, this is all pre-recorded, telling you my recipe. Then I throw the reason why, which is because you took the time, It doesn't matter what the reason is, but I'll probably say, because you took the time to be here live tonight, I can do this. It's reason why, urgency and scarcity. Urgency is I can only do it tonight. When this webinar ends, it's 2,000 again. That's your urgency. Scarcity, we already sold, it appears we've already sold 9 copies, and I can only let 12 go. So when the 12th person buys, I'm closing off the webinar. We got 3 copies left. Grab them now, guys. Who's grabbing them? Because once they're gone, it's $2,000 again. So what I've done, this is advanced, but the curtain has been pulled. So then I go, reason why, urgency, scarcity. And what I do is I usually like to say there's 1 to 5 available still when the webinar ends. Okay? So it's not ended yet. We're still selling. So I gave reason why, urgency, scarcity, and then I hit him with another big one. I give him a bonus. I go, and for those of you that haven't bought yet, because we only have a few more copies left, for those of you that didn't pick it up, I'm throwing in, you know what I'm throwing in as a bonus? The full Octo content model course as a bonus. Tonight only, because we only have a few copies left. You got to take action tonight, and you got it. So far, the remaining people that didn't buy, and you keep saying, and for those of you that bought earlier and are still on, you get all this as well. I'm just adding because I want everybody to walk away with this tonight. I can't believe I'm doing this, but Octo content model, brand resume, and you'll see how I sell. A brand resume is getting you there. Now I'd like to show you our flagship course, which is based on, and then I keep going, guys. I keep selling for probably another hour, because the people who already purchased will either stick around and it'll confirm their purchase, or if they leave, they leave. But I'm not going to stop selling. Why would I stop? They don't have to stick around. I'm going to keep selling. I gave my value. I sold. I got like 40% of them purchased by this point. Now 50%, now 55%, now 56%, now 58%. I'm going to keep going, keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. You understand how this works? You see it all the time on infomercials, but this is different. This blows infomercials away. It's live. It's live. So then I add Octo content. I show them what that's about, and I tell them it's $5,000 period. And because we're just a small group here tonight, and you made the effort again, the reason why I'm throwing in the whole course, the $5,000 course, as a bonus. You get it for life. And then what I do is I come back and I sell again, and then I'll go in Octo content for a while, maybe 2 or 3 times. Yes. I don't stop. And then by the time when it's time to end, I'm like, okay, it looks like everybody picked it up. Maybe a couple of you didn't. The good news is we still have a couple of copies available, but you have to give a number. We have 3 copies available. You want to give a number from 1 to 5. So you say, I will go now, guys. I will make sure I unlock everybody who purchased. I'll see you on the inside. Start taking action. Keep it short. They already bought. And you say, for those of you that are lagging around here, if the coupon code doesn't work, it means you're too late. Based on what I see here, we have 1 or 2 copies left, and then you end it. That is how you build a perpetual cash machine. And then it's all about how much traffic you drive to it. Okay? Pretty cool? I don't know if I want to... and by the way, I'm taking off all the Octo content stuff from my blog. But that doesn't matter. I shouldn't even have gone to there. The reason... No, because those of you who have Octo content, you can, the collaborators, you can do what you please with the courses. So you can give them away for free if you want. Like, there's no rule against that. There's no law against... Do whatever you want with them. What I'm saying, the reason this crossed my mind is I will take them off of my blog because I just want to sell a lot of Octo content model courses, and I don't want modules up there on YouTube anymore. They were up there for long enough. And when I start to scale this, I don't want them to be able to get modules for free because I had them scattered all over. They were on my blog. I'm going to just take them off because they're courses for sale. That's me speaking. You can do whatever you want. But the reason I'm saying that is because this tonight, I don't think I want anyone else to get this information. Tonight was too much. Tonight was just too valuable. Yeah. Well, you're welcome. I don't know how many will take action and start messing around with this, because messing around is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to get the webinar software. If you don't have the webinar software, just go to asklalonde.com/webinarjam. That's my affiliate link. I got some hacks for that too, in terms of, I could go on and on about, because at the end of a webinar jam says, if you'd like the webinar software, go here. And you want that to be your affiliate link. You know what I mean? Because some people are going to see the webinar, they'll be like, wow, that was cool. I bought Brand Resume, but now I want to learn how to do that. How is he doing this webinar stuff? Oh, there's a link. I don't want them to go to Webinar Jam and purchase it. I want you to get your cut. You get $200 for sale. So, like if they buy the year, I think you get $250. So if you've got like 10 attendees a day that buy it, that's $2,500 that you're leaving on the table. That's going directly to them. So there's a hack to make that yours. The reason I said that is because if you guys don't have webinar software and you're hearing me tonight, I think most of you have it. You should. Well, most of you got it at like a ridiculous price. Cheaper than I got it for. You got it for like $500 for the year. I mean, I'm jealous. They wouldn't even give me that discount. I got mad at them. But then I stopped pulling a suck attack. I didn't say succotash. I stopped pulling a suffering suck attack. And I said, oh well, it's making me millions. It's making me millions a year, every year. And I'm complaining about having to pay $800 instead of $500. What's wrong with me? I'm like, I brought in all these affiliates. I brought in all these people. I made all these sales. How dare you? No, it's not. I pay $1,500 because I use Kartra and stuff too. But for Webinar Jam itself, for the webinars, I pay like $800. And you guys, some of you got in at $499 maybe, I think. And I'm like, how dare you? I'm your top affiliate. And I'm complaining about $300. What's wrong with me? Like, seriously, what's wrong with me? That software is insane. So those of you that got it at $500, keep it. Even if you don't know what to do with it. Even if it's the one thing, if you got it at $500, keep it at $500. Even if you're like, well, I haven't been using it. Well, then you have to pay $800. But it's the one software it's the one software that no one knows about. This is the most important software that you will have. If I didn't have that, I would be, let's not go there. I'm not selling. So guys, there we are. Who am I going to see next week? I saw a ton of you will be there. So that's what's happening. Next week, you saw the landing page. It's very basic. Maybe I'll put an invitation. No, I don't need to, because the purpose of next week, next Thursday, the date's on the webinar page. It is, in fact, Thursday the 16th, right? Yeah, Thursday the 16th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will not be live, but let's treat it like I'm live. And it doesn't matter what you say. I can edit your comments if you make typos. I like to keep typos in. And there you have it, guys. That's it. I hope you got value tonight. I know you got value tonight. I have to say, I hope you got value tonight. The only reason you didn't get value tonight is if it's above your head, and it could be above your head. A lot of this stuff would be above most people's heads. Nobody's doing it at this No one is doing it at this level, yo. Okay? And a lot of people don't even know it's being done. So it's, yeah. It's normal if you're like, well, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I do this? Get resourceful if you can. And there you have it. I'll put in the Webinar Jam link for those of you that want to pick it up. I think it's $800 for the year. You won't get it at $500 anymore. Those of you that got it at that price. And I think you guys are locked in. You are locked in. You're grandfathered in, you little buggers. So like, it doesn't go up next year. You still get, you only pay $500 a year. It's awesome. Okay, asklalonde.com/webinar jam. No dashes, no underscores. There you go. That's my affiliate link for Webinar Jam. And maybe I'll show you guys if you, well, next week when I give you the, next week we do the recorded webinar. And you guys, I won't be talking to you. I'll be joining in the chat with you. And it'll be congruent with the webinar, obviously. I'll be like, Mark, that's so cool. And then I will say, I will come in as Marcus with a K. No, Marco? I'll come in as Joseph. When you see a Joseph in there, it's me. I'm just participating with you guys, adding in the chat. And then the week after that, I'll give you guys the chat. I'll give you guys the new webinar with all the me speaking out the comments, so you can download it. I'll only charge you $1,000 for that. It's for free. I'm giving it to you for free. For free. And then we're going to start getting into content creators, guys. So this affiliate run, the affiliates, you guys are doing okay. Sales here and there, a couple of sales every day. I mean, it is what it is. I would have personally ran with it full on. You're selling, I'm done. We're done for tonight. We've been on very long. And I gave away a lot of stuff, guys. I mean, the knowledge. Knowledge. As Ty Lopez would say. Knowledge. You see this Lamborghini? This Lamborghini here in my garage? What's more important than taking a nice drive down in, I don't know, California, wherever he is, Beverly Hills, he goes, is I prefer these bookshelves because it's all about knowledge. 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 You got a lot of that tonight. Okay, guys, the replay will be in the Laboom Squad, okay? Have an amazing Thursday evening, and just rewatch what happened tonight. Rewatch what happened tonight, and let your brain put it together, because it's a lot. It's mind-blowing. It's one of these too good to be, well, for sure it's a too good to be true. It's one of those situations. Too good to be true. Get rich quick. I mean, I'm giving you the webinar. I'm giving you the chat. It's like, it's too good to be true. So let your brain process it. And then you'll wake up tomorrow. You'll be like, okay. And then you'll start taking action. Just let your brain process it. It's crazy. Crazy night. Love you all. I will see you. Let me type in the URL one more time for the registration page. asklalonde.com/90210. And I'll see you guys in the chat next week. Let's populate that chat, shall we? Love you. Have an amazing Thursday. Bye-bye.